Tell me the truth. I know we've gone our separate ways. Can we get love back? I know we've had our better days. Can we get love back?
Okay.
Can we get love back?
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for Power Hour Live, Work From Home Network TV. We've got my cast of characters. Aaron Smalls just passed his sunglasses over to me, so I'm going to go ahead and put them on. Curtis is keeping his shades on. Ladies and gents, my name is Anthony Michael Russo. I am from Dallas, Texas. Joining you guys, hoping to bring some smiles, positivity, and love. I am a motivational speaker that started the company. #BeTheChange, all about taking action, making the world a better place, and being kind to the people around us. And, of course, one of our other hosts, we're bringing up the man, the myth, the legend, Aaron Smalls.
Hey, everybody. That's right. My name is Aaron Smalls. I do a whole lot of things. You can look me up and you can find out all those things. But as we are supporting all of our first responders, our medical professionals out there, I want you guys to support the farmers as well, because I, too, use and city folks just won't understand. So please make sure you're supporting the farmers as well. Turn it over to you, Liza.
What is up? My gosh, you're my favorite farmer. I love it. Fun times. Hey everyone, I'm Lizza Morales. I'm an actor, a TV host, and a content creator in English and Spanish and even Japanese. And I'm based out of LA, though in real life, when I'm not here and I'm not in quarantine casa, or casa quarantine, as we say, I usually live on a plane. So this has been really interesting getting to know this life, but we get to connect with you and we get to connect with other fabulous hosts like one of my other co-hosts over in Atlanta, Curtis. You're up next. Hey.
Oh, what's up? I've just been showing how to train a dragon. Shout out to Disney. I'm Curtis. I'm a global ambassador, like the hat says. I have no idea what I ambassador, but I'm ready to have a great time today. Yeah, that's really it. I got spikes on my shoulder.
Oh, that's awesome. Good to see you, Curtis. Now, anybody that wants to follow any of our lovely people on the show, look it down below. We've got all of our Instagram names. We've got XOXO Liza. We've got @the Aaron Smalls, @real_life_Curtis, and of course me @Anthony Michael Russo. But guess what time it is, ladies and gents? It is time for our headline
of the day. So excited. So this particular headline, though, is a little bit interesting. I definitely think that it can cause a little bit of some controversy. The hashtag that's going on right now on Twitter that's really trending is Save the Post Office. So an article came out based on everything that's going around right now. This is a great sum up, though, with the coronavirus pandemic, as we know, is raging all over the U.S., but more specifically to the U.S. Postal Service. We've seen that mail volume has been down 30% this week as compared to the same time as last year. They think it could be down by 50% by the end of June. Dun, 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 which is causing alarm across the board. This is Representative Jerry Connolly, who also oversees the Democratic Oversight Committee for Government, and he's talking about the fact that we should definitely give money because otherwise the Postal Service, it looks like it will collapse come June. And the reason why you, my friends, might think this is important is in addition to voting by mail this year, which is definitely going to be key if we're still isolated at home, it's easier to get more direct payments, and it's a great way and safe way for delivery of pharmaceuticals to our elderly as well as those that are disabled. And well, it is, something one of our forefathers started. So I don't know. I like the post office. I love sending myself postcards. I'd love to know what you all think about whether we should bail them out or not.
Well, before I address that, what is mail and what is a postcard?
Well, for the rest of us, I love actually, back in the days, BC, before Corona, everywhere I've traveled since the age of 6, I've mailed myself a postcard. I have a collection of them from all over the world with postage stamps. So this one just hit particularly close to home. And Curtis, speaking of postage stamps, I feel like you have a solution instead of necessarily having us bail them out via Trump and the government. I liked your thought too. Curtis?
Curtis is so deep in thought, he doesn't know what to say.
He does it.
Yeah,
Well,
sorry, my internet's a little slow out here. Atlanta didn't.
They didn't get the mail apparently.
Can you hear me?
they
we
didn't get
can
the
hear me.
mail.
So what Curtis is
it's-
trying to say.
Yeah, so Curtis had a thought. I think he's going to jump back. But what he had suggested was having the idea of everyone in the U.S. being required to buy one postage stamp. If we buy one postage stamp with the amount of population, and what are they, like 32 cents right now or something, or that forever stamp rate? If we all bought one and did this together, then we probably would have the money that they need to at least float them through the end of the year. Right, Curtis?
25 cents, 32 cents. Like, you got 100 million people.
Curtis, that shows how long it's been since you actually mailed anything. It's literally like 50 something cents now. Yeah. I'm in agreement. Like there's you gotta, they keep a lot of things running. I do think as a governmental program, as a company that used to mail out checks as a business, their inadequacies were glaring in the last decade. So maybe right now, while they're slow and we've already paid a lot of tax dollars, they could take their time to work their internal systems up to standard. Just a thought.
I mean, I agree with you.
I agree with that.
There's definitely many packages that have been lost, but I also do want to give a shout out to all our postal workers who right now, for so many, that's the only human contact that they have with someone, and they are risking their lives bringing those packages to all of us. So I would love to find out some middle ground. Aaron, any thoughts on Aaron?
Yeah, I actually am. I am very much for it because, as I showed you in that photo before, that's actually my dad, and he was a postal worker. I'll show it to you again. That's my dad.
That's hilarious.
I love it.
And he is a postal worker.
Now, also,
that's my.
I wanted to clarify current postage to send as of effective 2020 is 55 cents to send a first class mail letter, and then it goes up from there as well. So 55 cents. I feel like we all could chip in 55 cents for good old Ben Franklin and get it popping.
Holler.
So does that mean if I have those forever stamps, those are
Forever.
increasing in price?
Not forever.
Yes.
Yeah. That's why you buy the forever stamps.
That's
So you can save money. So while Aaron continues to figure out the math, if you at home have any comments, feel free to drop them down below for your chance to be featured on our show. But for now, that has been the headline of the day. All right, Aaron, off to you.
Oh, we are now moving into a delightful segment that I like to call Across America. But first, before we go across America, what do you guys think about the post office? Do you guys have any thoughts about this, about how we can support them and about the bailouts for them? What are your thoughts? Write them in the comments down below because we're going to put you up on the show later on in the episode. Or if you're rewatching it, still drop us a comment because we're still going to see it, or send us a DM and we'll bring it back around later on. But now we're moving into Across America. In this segment, we are skipping around America, finding out what's going on, what's happening in your city, your state, or maybe even your country. We want a truthful but positive outlook on what's going on. So with that said, we're going to get right into our very first city or state or country, and that is my man, Anthony Russo in Dallas, Texas.
Well, you said it right, my friend. Texas is its own country. That is a fact if you look it up, FACT. So the news that we've got is it's sunny outside. It's my favorite temperature of 72 degrees today for the high. And that's about it. There's not been a lot of new news in Texas. I know that we're obviously a big religious state, so Easter is coming up. So a lot of people are planning on their Easter Sunday services to be online, which is the whole new world. So that is about everything going on in Dallas, Texas.
All right. Yeah. News is starting to get a little limited, It's starting to get a little limited with what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
But we're going to keep it rocking. We're going to move over to the ATL right now. We're going to jump over there to Curtis. What's going on?
What up, big Aaron? Well, just a quick thing. Atlanta's weather's been hitting home runs like Ryan Gant ever since this coronavirus started. and it's been 3 for 3. So it's like a strikeout, like my man Tom Glavine has been doing when he used to be for the Braves. But that's just a small update of what's going on in Atlanta. I do want to jump over to bring back my homegirl Mo. Mo should be on. Mo's coming in from New York, but in Harlem. And the cool part is she's been helping me stay healthy and keep this immune system up. And she gave me a new what she calls a serum. So we can grab Mo and bring her up. And really quick, while we do wait, MARTA is planning to distribute 250,000 masks to employees and increase in emergency sick time. So that's an awesome thing for the city of Atlanta. And what's up, Mo? How you feeling?
I'm good. How are you feeling?
Girl, I've been feeling good. Now you gotta, I mean, you just dropped a new video. You gotta just tell me about this. What's going down?
All right. So like I mentioned last Friday, I had a few symptoms and I really resorted to my Caribbean recipes that, my mom and my grandmother kind of just shared with me. And I don't know if you've seen in the news, but there was a guy that was like, he went home, cured himself from corona, and it was from Caribbean recipes and so forth. So I made my little serum for you guys. So that is on my page at mo.duchess on IG, and I'm on TikTok too for the craziness. Okay. But if anybody else wants to know how to make it, just go to my IG. It's right there. When it's done, I actually keep it in a bottle like this. So I like the coloring on what you have. So that means that you put a little bit of cayenne.
Oh yeah. See, but I got to shake it up or something. I got to stir it up.
So that's really, really amazing. And this is going to be good to make sure that you're not keeping any mucus on your chest. You don't have like a cough. If you feel like you're getting a cough, take that serum and you're good. All right. Every Friday, I'm going to drop some gems for you guys. So,
I love it. Thank you, Mo. And I will shoot it right now so they know I'm taking it. And I will say you do need to brush your teeth after you take this because your breath might be a little kicking. That's what probably is going to kick corona is that breath. Let me take this shot. What's up, Aaron?
I'm ready. I got all my ingredients ready for the serum. I think. I think there's right there's.
Aaron, you got it. Do it in the morning or at night is normally best. But
Mo, I love you being Latina. We have all the concoctions too. So I'm adding that to my ginger shot with my cayenne. Oh, Mo is speaking my language. So super pumped to give it a try as well.
Gotta stay healthy, guys.
Is this a part of it?
It's totally part of it, Mix. Hey, the vaporu. Yes, you put it in your nose, keeps it all coronavirus away.
Thank you, Mo.
Of course.
We'll catch you next Friday.
All right.
All right, we're going to jump over to Liza in Los Angeles.
In Los Angeles, what is up, everybody? So this has been a interesting week as my birthday week celebration continues. But that being said, I do want to give a shout out to my lovely city for figuring out a way to give thanks to our workers. Pamela Chelin shared this over on Twitter, and she did a series of them, all the different buildings, everything from the LA City Hall to, just the variety of the buildings that we have here in LA, which was really fantastic to see everybody light up blue as a way of thanking our healthcare workers that are really risking their lives. Another really big change that's happened since I saw you all last is masks. As we know, everyone's making their own masks, trying to figure out what to wear. But in LA, it is no longer optional. It has officially gone into law to wear your Corona mask when outside. 5 key points that are important for everybody is that the idea is to protect both the customers and essential workers. It's not just at the supermarket and drugstores, but when you get out of your house. And it is jurisdiction that's going to be held not just here in LA, but when you're going outside. And most importantly, you still want to make sure that the medical grade masks that you have are for your medical care workers, right? So we want to make sure that we leave those N95 masks for them. And last but not least, I want to give a big shout out to my siblings because it is National Siblings Day. The favorite people you like to annoy, you can annoy them a little extra today or send them some love because you should. Because if we're going to spread anything, let's spread love. So that's what's going on here in LA. Back to you, Aaron.
We could spread money.
Love that. LA is sounds good. You made me even sadder because I am an only child and I have no siblings. Anyway, to jump around and talk about some other news that's going on here around the world. I know coronavirus is getting a lot of you guys down, and there are a lot of negative things about it, but I am an optimist, and I am trying to find the silver linings with all of these things. And I know a lot of you wish coronavirus was an actual person that you could punch in the throat, but you can't. So hashtag violence isn't the way. But if you go across the world here, over to Saudi Arabia, this is pretty crazy. There is a ceasefire that has happened in Yemen with one of the world's nastiest wars. And I think this is impressive because it's allowing for peace talks to happen, and they're doing it all to prevent the.
Oh, it looks like the ceasefire happened right now with Aaron. Fun times, Aaron. Fun times. We see it. We see it. Aaron.
Well, he talks perfectly too. Look how good he looks. Stop.
He looks good even with Frozen. I love it. What is it? Night at the Museum?
Let it go.
Yeah, it's a death grip. I love it. Yeah.
I love it.
Or he took that serum and his breath just finally kicked back into his internet and it just hit him square in the face.
Oh my gosh. Well, let's see if we don't get him back. But in the meantime, I think it's time for a little regular hero of the day, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, let's do a little. What do you say we do a little be the change, Curtis? How you feeling about that?
I'm gonna be the change.
You're always the change. So guess what time it is? Time to figure out, talk about who our regular hero. I'm sorry, just we'll say both. Regular hero, be the change, ambassador of the day is. Yes, that is right. So this is what I've got. Oh, yeah. So this is what we got. There is daily. So with news being less and less every day, the great thing is there's great stories that are happening day after day, and people are finding ways to help their fellow man, which is originally the whole purpose behind Be the Change and Regular Hero. So with that, it's all about finding what we could do to help our fellow man. So what I found was a great story. Started out with a Kathleen Moldenhouse out of LA. She owned an RV. She saw some people that were donating RVs to people that needed to separate from their families, that are the frontline workers, didn't want to get their family sick. So she posted in Facebook group, help a healthcare worker out. Somebody took advantage of this opportunity and was able to essentially live at their house, but live in the front driveway. She brought the RV to them, which has now continued to inspire other people to do the same. Fox 11 in Los Angeles covered this story. Mike Savoyan owns Rolling Getaway RV Rentals. He saw this story and decided he had 30 reservations that were canceled, obviously because people couldn't travel, and they were just sitting there. So instead of being upset, he goes, how can I help? So he's been donating all of his RVs to healthcare workers on the front line so that they could still be close enough to home and close to their families, and still separate and keep their families safe as well while they're doing the hard work. That is the Be the Change ambassador of the day.
I love it. I mean, that's just showing that you're doing what you can with what you have. And instead of sitting back and thinking about it and like, oh, me, oh, my, like, what can I do? It's just like, no, just go do it. And that's the beauty of it. And I love things like that. And I have another group coming out of Miami. I was going to wait to mention it, but they're an amazing group. They're from a church down there. And what happened is they hit me up and was like, hey, we're trying to figure out how we can help. And I'm like, I'm in Atlanta. They're like, no worries. We just need your help to help just literally with communications. And all of a sudden I found out there's a person with a restaurant that they own, a commercial kitchen. Somebody raised some money. There's a person at the hospital, and boom, now we have a way to go and feed first responders in the hospital and continue on. I'm like, that's just a beautiful thing, because they're doing what they can with what they have, and they're being the change without just sitting back. Some of these people lost their jobs, right? These are people unemployed. Yep. They're like, I can't give money, but I can also give my time. I can figure out something else. And so that's the beauty of it. So I love what's going down.
We got to look at it as an opportunity to better ourselves, opportunity to help people around us, and officially to actually be the change we wish to see in the world around us.
Oh yeah. What's also being is change my arm. I've been working out. It's being a change.
Fantastic. All right. We're going to bring everybody back on right now. We got, let's see if Aaron's still alive. I'm just going to go straight to Aaron, see if he had a time lapse or what all happened. Aaron, let's see.
Come back in.
my computer has not seen this much action since Spring Break MTV back in 1998. Like this is, it is not used to being used this much.
Your computer?
Yeah,
but it works. Your monologue took you. It works. So going back to the word diet. Be careful what you preach, what you say, because it can work so fast that it happens in real time. So with that, take it away.
And you actually, Aaron, you've created your own online dance. You don't even know. It's called the Aaron.
It was a grip. But let's be real. You looked really sexy doing it.
Ooh.
The number of snap.
All right, back to Aaron.
The number of free frame shots we're going to be able to pull from this is ridiculous. Anyways, as I was saying, ceasefire in Yemen. It's awesome. It's going to bring peace, hopefully, in what was an incredibly terrible war. And to that I say, yeah, man. Moving on to talking about the environment. This is actually a silver lining here for the environment as well, because we're seeing cleaner air, we're seeing lower emissions, pollution is dropping low, and initially I was going to say my internet signal. So that's what that is really like, because it completely ruins my joke. That's what pollution looks like right now, just dropping.
I'm not gonna lie, it's enjoyable no matter how you look at it. Now
there's another one. There's another
There's
one.
another one. Can y'all just feel free to screenshot this one?
Screenshot that. Screenshot that.
I got it. And there we go. Everybody smile. 1, 2, 3. Okay.
All right. Well,
Hey, he's back.
Oh, he's back. Well, it's a perfect time, I would say, to take it. Take it. Do you want to do your graphic? Can you do that on your end, or to end it? If not, we'll go into.
I'm going to see if I can wrap it up real quickly. Other than that, here in New York, the river is still gross. The Macy's Day Thanksgiving Parade is still one of the biggest parades in the entire world. And these vagabond shoes of mine are longing to stray. I'm ready to start drinking after that. So, yeah, someone else hit the graphic, because I don't think I can.
I got it.
It's been around the internet.
Around
America. Let's go.
Now. And now
I
it's
love
smooth. Yeah, that's
Well,
great.
we're gonna just jump from that straight into around the internet. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I love it. Now, clearly, in addition to having strong Wi-Fi and some fancy glasses, one of the other things that we're seeing, like I mentioned earlier today, even here in LA, it's become law to wear a mask of some sort when you're out. We know Curtis has his really cool quarantine character mask ready to go. But that said, is there such a thing as going overboard? And that is what Ben Goodner over on Facebook is questioning. He'd like to know, how exactly effective is this, which I found particularly hysterical. And I want to give you guys a closer look. She literally is wearing one of the wrappings that you get with your, song, as we say in Spanish, while she's out shopping. Do we think that that's actually going to be effective? I'm curious before we move on. I don't know, because I found it pretty funny.
I think it works. Yeah, that officially would work.
But if you get coronavirus in there from the bottom, I don't know. I think it might be a little much, but that is to be debated.
Can you fart coronavirus? I don't know what angle it would come from that low.
Yeah.
Oh boy. All right. Well, definitely let us know at home what you all think, because these boys are definitely getting out of control. That said, the good thing is we know TikTok is definitely a big place where dance challenges are taking over. But what I do appreciate is that there are communities around the world that are also taking the time to do, especially within tribal nations, to do a Corona healing dance. And this is absolutely beautiful.
When the sun comes up in the morning sky, there I will be
dancing for the people, praying for their safety.
Soaring with the eagle so high, feeling free, remembering Thank you for your time. I hope you find comfort. Remember to be kind to one another, pray for one another, be safe, and wash your hands.
Yes,
love
I'm
it.
in love. I definitely encourage you all to go over to Native Women's Wilderness on Instagram to watch the rest of the video. It is absolutely touching. And that actually brings me to a little bit more of what is happening right now, which is the fact that people are using technology in such a great way to give back. And that's what we're going to see with this next one, with one classroom actually did for their teacher when they found out that her husband had actually received or had coronavirus.
So we're remotely learning right now, and one of them asked if they could meet with me during my office hours. My answer was, of course you can. But when I entered into the Google Hangout, there were a bunch more kids than just that one student. They all planned to meet me there so they could give me this. This is a Google Slides presentation from a bunch of my students with letters of encouragement on every slide. So it's not just remote learning, it's remote loving.
Yeah. So that one actually, Curtis, you're being funny, but actually that one actually got me the first time, and it gets me every time because I think that that's really important in the fact that it isn't just about remote learning, but remote loving. And if we're going to spread anything, as you all know, I really advocate for spreading love. And I feel that that's such a great example of how to do that. Guys, yeah. All right. So moving right along. I thought you all would appreciate this person stepping in to help. It's definitely, when they say help comes in the most unexpected ways, who would have thought that Cardi B would be behind it? So
I've been getting a lot of DMs of people in need. And me and Fashion Nova, we came up with a way that we are going to give out $1,000 an hour for the next 42 days. Yep, that's right. Sometimes you give to charity and you wonder like, is it really going to the people? Well, we're going to make sure it's going to the people. All you got to do is go to fashionnova.com/care, put your name, number. I'm going to give you all the direction down below. And make sure your Instagram is open because
so she keeps going on in a true Cardi B style, drop some F-bombs. But basically, as we have listed up there, all you have to go is go to fashionnova.com/cares. Let her know why you need this money. And for the next 42 days, all jokes aside, she clearly took a page out of Tyler Perry's book. She and Fashion Nova will be giving away $1 million, and that's $1,000 every single hour for the next 42 days, which I just want to say, round of applause. Way to be a regular star hero.
What was that?
Big shout out to Cardi.
What was that website again?
So that's fashionnova.com/cares. You'll want to go there. Once we're done with the show, we're not quite done. We have a few more. As we know, Easter is upon us this weekend, as is Passover. So we know a couple of parents have been so busy with everything else that they might have forgotten Easter altogether, just like this one mom did, this French mom to be exact. But I really love that she came up with a great craft that people can use. You essentially just take some cardboard, do a little couple of holes, make it in the shape of an egg, get some lanyard or some string that you have, and then have the kids themselves just go ahead and make the craft. And then that could be like your Easter egg, which again, last minute crafts, we're all about it. And then if that is not necessarily your style and you want something more with a little bit more pizzazz, but still want to use things that you have around home, here's another really nice. You say potato, I say potato, but I think, or potato, but I think all around it is just a great way to celebrate Easter. And in that, no matter what day it is, we want to make sure that we take a little bit of time to smile. And to this vein, Aaron, this next one is for you because everyone seems to be continued to be inspired by this whole quarantine character, Mortal Kombat Challenge. And we saw the female version on Wednesday, and today we have a male version. I particularly love that you can customize the face as well as the different outfits and down to the shoes. So, Aaron, That one was all you. So before we wrap up, guys, was there one in particular that really hit home today?
The last one.
I love. I don't know how Cardi B is becoming the face of the coronavirus. But she, somehow, I don't know if she realizes this, but she will be associated with the coronavirus
forever
moving forward.
Yeah.
Forever.
That's how you on your phone looking down during that last one going to apply.
Yeah. It's impressive.
I brought my laptop out, but
so unexpectedly, I like the Native American one. What you guys might not know is my mom practices as a shaman practitioner, and she's been doing free healing circles and drum circles throughout this whole thing. And her audience is growing. There was a mass day, I believe, on the 5th of April, where there was meditation all around the world, like 20 million people meditating once. So that was pretty cool. So that one's pretty interesting to me. And of course, the last guy, the planning behind that is fantastic. What he needed to do is add in Cardi B's nails in one of the videos. That would have been great.
Oh,
because that's literally.
Yes. And I agree with you. The meditation was great. I was actually a part of that as well. And it's just been really cool to see how everybody's doing their part energetically as well as physically to give back and to heal. So the fun continues. But for today, that has been Around the Internet. And now I think it's time for a little bit of OPP. Aaron, you ready with that?
I hope so. We're jumping over to another segment here that I like to call Other People's Positivity. That's right. So jumping into Other People's Positivity, it's all about positivity coming from other people, as the title says. Sometimes I'm going to give you guys insights to help keep you guys positive and motivated and energized going throughout this pandemic, if you will. And sometimes it's going to come from other people. And as you can see, I have a whole bunch of books on the shelf over here. And one of the books that I read, which was very appropriate for the circumstances, is this book here called Contagious. And one of the things that they say in this book, that Jonah Berger says in the book, he says the best results done. That made me feel really good about what's happening with Work From Home Network and a lot of the videos that we're showing you guys, because we're trying to pull that positivity. And although we're finding a lot of this information from a search engine, it's really the people that are taking it upon themselves to make a difference and to give you this information. And it's up to you guys to adapt this and to put these practices and these plans into action in order for it to become something. Because if we want to get out of this, if we want to get rich, if we want to get famous, if we want to succeed, we can't just want to do that. We have to put that into action. And I thought those were pretty positive words there to really sink into getting active and getting positive and seeing those results show up, not on a search engine, but to show up in our lives. So that was just a quick little snippet. Next week, I have some very fun people that are going to be coming on the show to spread some of their positivity. It's not going to be just one person. It's going to be an entire family because they do everything together. And I'm very excited about getting them on the show. But they are celebrating, I guess that's the word, Good Friday and all that jazz today. So I will, a lot of stuff happened in the chat over there. I will be bringing them on Monday for you guys. But once again, this segment has been called Other People's Positivity.
I love it. Look at Curtis on his phone trying to apply with Cardi B. He's like, listen,
whoa. First of all, you need to know this ain't no phone.
Oh. You figuring out how much you're going to ask her for?
Exactly. You got a plan. You know what I'm saying? This is a financial calculator from Texas Instruments.
I was going to say, is it a Texas Instrument? Because, those are worth money right now. If you sold those are
advanced. This is an advanced business analyst. Look at that. Legit. Sorry, didn't want to distract. So go ahead.
I can't with you. All right. Well, I thank you so much for you all being on here. I'm going to drop you all off as we get ready for our next segment, which is going to be quarantine cooking. As I mentioned earlier, we are coming into the weekend. It's a Holy Week and weekend for many different faiths, including those who are Jewish and, of course, Catholic and Christian. And so today I'm super honored to have on our girl, what is up, Shannon, to talk to us a little bit about a really fun Passover treat.
Sure. So I have some ingredients ready for what's called matzah toffee. If you're not Jewish, you might know this as Christmas crack or saltine toffee. Around Christmas time, a lot of people like to make it with saltine crackers and caramel and give it as gifts along with cookies. But today I'm making the American Jewish version that everyone loves. I have my matzah. And if my assistant will bring me my caramel. So what you do, it's so simple. And what's great about this is that it actually, here, Ellie, you want to say hi? It's made with ingredients that you probably have. It's 2 sticks of butter and some brown sugar that we melted. And then I'm going to pour it over the matzah crackers, or you could do it with any kind of crackers that you have. And then what happens, all right, Miss, you're going to take this away from me and go spread this around.
I love it. And can you pull up the tray a little bit so we can see how you're spreading it, which is great.
So
it's so good.
And it's just, this is like carbs and sugar and butter melted. And so we're going to spread it all over the crackers. All right, you're in charge now. Go do this with the spoon. Go spread it in and then put it in the oven, okay? All right.
I love it. And so this is also a really great time, an activity you can do with your kids, which I think is really awesome, right?
Totally. I mean, so you can do it with your kids and have them help you. Or if you're trying to encourage your kids to cook, like I am, like make your own damn food. This is a great time to empower your kids to learn how to cook and bake, right?
I love it. So okay, once I put everything there. Yep, go ahead.
So this is now in the oven for 15 minutes. And then what you're going to do is I have mini chocolate chips. I'm going to spread them all over. And usually if I had just taken this out of the oven and if I weren't waiting for you guys to stop gabbing, then it would melt right into the chocolate. So you're going to let it sit for a few minutes. And then you just sort of spread it. And then you can add all kinds of toppings right on top. So you can do sprinkles, you can do some almonds, I have coconut, I have thick sea salt, which adds like a nice sweet and salty element. So I'm going to spread this all around, add my toppings, and then in the end, this is what it will look like. So this is the kind with sprinkles.
That just gets me so excited. Yes.
This is the one everybody wants, right? Sprinkles.
Yeah.
Sprinkles is everything.
Well, what I love about it, though, is that you can go ahead and you can make it, as you mentioned at the end, when you're drizzling all the stuff and you're allowing it to cool, it's all about adding the sprinkles or adding in any of these other toppings. And that's kind of how you can just bring a little fun. I love that that they're multicolored and that it is something that you not only can do together, but it is the gift that keeps on giving, right? And it's matzah, so it's really great.
This is totally a great time to gift something like this and bring it to your neighbor, bring it to somebody who lives by themselves, and just like a little treat, like really lifts people's spirits, right?
Now, I love it. Now, Shannon, we know that you're a cookbook author yourself. So can you tell us a little bit about your last cookbook and where people can get it?
Sure. So my cookbook is called Modern Jewish Baker, and you do not have to be Jewish to love this cookbook. In fact, so many people that have it and love it aren't Jewish at all. It really gives an overview of making all kinds of bread and dough that maybe you've always wanted to try, and now is a really great time to do it, like challah or even just fresh bagels. You can get it on Amazon or Target or Barnes & Noble or anywhere that you find will ship to you.
I love it. And of course, if you're at home, they can also visit thenosher.com for many more recipes like this, including this one. Get all the different instructions. We'll also have a link below once the show is over so that everybody could make it at home. I only wish you could send it my way because, man, am I hungry.
Next time I'm in LA, I'll bring you some.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Shannon, for being here with us. We appreciate it. We'll see you again soon. I'm going to bring the boys back.
Easter.
Yes, thank you. Happy Passover. Oh, and thank you to your helper. I love it. Now, one big thing, too, that I want people to know, she's a fellow Jutina, which I love that, people don't ever know that you could be Jewish and Latin. So shout out. I love that. All right, y'all have a great one. Bye. There's Anthony. We're bringing all the boys back. Oh my goodness.
Anthony's Jewish too.
I am. Fun fact. I am also part of the tribe. I am a chosen one. Don't be fooled by the Russo last name. My mother is Jewish, which she's Jewish, which makes me Jew-ish.
Okay. Yes, I too am Jewish. Again, a big shout out to Shannon. And yeah, there's more recipes on thenosher.com. I think what's great, I don't know if in your family you have this, Anthony, but we have both sides of the family celebrate different religions. So I get to celebrate both Passover and Easter. So you do a lot going on.
I celebrate both.
Mm-hmm.
You celebrate everything, right?
Because they kind of go together.
There you go.
That's my thought.
Most of my friends are Jewish, so I am with you, Anthony. I'm with you, Anthony.
I love it. I love it. So you have the 2 members of the tribe and 2 adopted members of the tribe down below.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
I'm from actually a tribe, though.
Oh my God, a tribe called
my
Quest?
ancestors.
I thought a tribe called Quest.
Nah, they're from Africa.
You know what? You know what the fun part about being Italian and Jewish is I'm a fantastic tipper, but I also hate to pay for parking. So it's the best and worst of both worlds. So it's automatic every time I go out.
I just don't pay.
Oh my, okay, I can't. But you know what? You don't have to pay, or maybe you do if you have a monthly subscription or one you can share. I think this is a perfect time for quarantine and chill. Shall we kick that off, Anthony?
Woo! Quarantine and chill time. Woo! All right. So later today, ladies and gents, we have our favorite show called Biscuits and Gravy by our favorite show. I'm just kidding. It's just our favorite show to talk about quarantining and chilling. It is also our only show to talk about quarantine and chill. Today is the rom-com edition. We're going to have Biscuits back as usual. That's Chad Marshall Fishburne and myself as Gravy. And we've got our special guests, Matt Troyer and Ken, which I love to do apropos names for that. So again, we've got our rom-com edition. We give away $5 Venmo gift cards. That's not really a gift card. It's just a $5 Venmo. Shout to people for our trivia contest for participating. Just make sure you're, of course, watching on this page. That starts at 2 o'clock Pacific time, 5 o'clock Eastern. And if you want to know what I've been watching, last night I watched Winter's Tale, which is more of a chick flick than a rom-com. But if you want to see me tear up, that's what I do. I tear up during movies like that. So that is pretty much the update of Quarantine and Chill. And, of course, today's later show, Biscuits and Gravy.
Loves it. Well, I am definitely coming back and doing my part of our Quarantine and Chill. So a big shout out to Tashina Arnold. We had members of AFCA on with the show a few weeks back, and they've continued to lead the way in being the first in doing things. And so I want to shout out to Sheena and the rest of the team over at Netflix because they are having their official Netflix virtual premiere party of The Main Event happening tonight or this afternoon at 4:30, which is really awesome. Now, what makes this different than anything else that we've seen out there during, coronavirus? Normally you have a big premiere, but this is a way to have a premiere at home. So who better to explain it than Tashina herself? This is a message she sent all of you.
I am so excited. To hang out with Netflix and WWE and my grandson, Seth Carr, at my very first virtual premiere for Netflix, The Main Event, on Friday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I can't wait to tweet along with you. Let's do this. I am so excited to hang out with Netflix and
keep on talking, but I love it. So she will be on today. All of you at home definitely can follow along, can watch the movie. It does drop today on Netflix, and let her know what you think. She'll be responding. She'll be retweeting. And I think this is such a great example of other ways that artists and her projects can continue to celebrate their new movies and connect with community. And we're pretty pumped here because we have some things in the works at the Work From Home TV network or network TV for you all at home to also be a part of. So stay tuned for that. But for now, that has been Quarantine and Chill. So I'm going to bring back the boys. Ooh, ooh. What's up?
My vote for the best movie for rom-coms is this one.
Hey, there we go.
That's on my list. That's actually in my top 5. So we all have our own top lists, and Hitch is in mine. It's not in any of the other boys, though. Fun fact.
Oh,
we'll definitely have to tune into Biscuits and Gravy after this because I want to see what's on the list for the guys.
Liza, I got a question for you. So my mom last night did a family Seder on Zoom. So did you do the Zoom Seder thing with the
Yes.
That's
yes,
awesome.
yes. And Shannon did hers, and we did our tech rehearsal after. We were all in onesies. So the Zoom continues to zoom and power so many things, including, I don't know what Curtis is doing, but he shouldn't be touching his hands because that's our face, because that is part of the coronavirus.
I wash my hands and I'm putting on a moisturizer.
Okay,
So
is there a reason
hydrated
happening during the
This
show?
is the hydration. Every hour I put on hydration on.
Are you sponsored by the hydration company?
Not yet. What's up, Keels? I'll let your boy.
I love that Curtis always feels the need to lean into the microphone.
Always.
We can hear you just fine. It's not
exactly. Wait, so Anthony,
I
did
want
you
you
guys
to
do a
feel me
Seder with
leaning in so you know I'm here. You know what I'm saying? I'm here for you, Anthony.
So mom was in the room and it was playing in the background, but it was kind of during other stuff going on. So I was being Jew-ish.
Got it.
Yeah.
We feel you. Well, moving right along, I think it's now time for the word diet. So, boys, I'll see you in a bit. We're going to have a little bit of positivity. As we've talked about, it is Passover. Christmas is over, but I still feel like we're in a season of Christmas of gratitude as we have Easter this weekend. And today's card of the day, again, is coming from the Wellbeing deck. And we're going to shuffle along and pick one. This one's, I like the card. We are all working toward the same goal, joy. Yes, fun fact. Whatever it seems like or not, you're all working toward the same ultimate goal of joy. You are just approaching things in different ways, and all of it is working. I love that because no matter how you get to the end, that's actually a great segue into religion. I don't know if you've ever read Joseph Campbell, one of my favorite authors, but one of the things that he talks about in The Power of the Myth is if I'm taking one street, let's say in Los Angeles, Santa Monica, and Curtis is taking another street, let's say Hollywood Boulevard, they both end up at the beach. Rather than fighting over which street is better, let's be at the beach and celebrate. And the way that relates to religion is whatever religion you believe in, it all sends you to the same path of being a good human, being loving, spreading love and kindness, and being compassionate in many ways. So rather than fighting over technicalities, let's really more than ever, as we continue to heal and reset while we're at home, take this time to really celebrate the joy that we can find within and for each other. And actually, that also ties in perfectly. I love when the universe does it with this graphic that I pulled for you all. As we consider our reset during this time, nothing should go back to normal. Normal wasn't working. If we go back to the way things were, we will have lost the lesson. May we rise up and do better. So I, for one, am particularly inspired by that quote because this has been a great time to figure out how to reset as we're keeping the ball moving. And I want to give a shout out to Aaron as well as JJ, who on their show earlier today, Wingman to Greatness, actually talked about one of my favorite acronyms, which is FEAR. So Aaron, did you want to come up and chat about it as well? Let's see if we can get him to join. Because I loved what you all had to say. That's one of my favorite acronyms that I use as well. And I have a different version, but I wanted you to share yours.
Yeah, I was oh wait, that's us. That's us there.
Dang, you look good, bro.
Yeah, just trying to make things happen. But yeah, fear. So one of the things that we talk about on the show today was this acronym, and it's false evidence appearing real. And it's we just kind of make things up in our minds sometimes, and we think that that's how it is, like that negative thing, like the worst possible scenario is what's going to happen. And essentially we were saying it's not so much that you shouldn't plan ahead and like be prepared for the worst case scenarios, but if you're always leaning into the worst case, then the worst case is probably going to happen, instead of thinking about those things, planning and preparing for those things, and then leaning into how you're going to solve those things, what solutions you have. And if to tie it all together, if you can kind of focus in and get rid of that fear, then you will truly, like your word diet card said, you will truly experience joy. Share it.
Hey, yes, all about sharing it, all about feeling it. And that's exactly one of the things that in my second book that we talk about in the word diet is that the most important meal of the day is the words that you consume as well as those that you share with others, right? And so I love that you guys use that version of the acronym. That is one. My other one that I like to use too is the fact that fear stands for face everything and rise. So that goes just as well with what you're saying, that it is about, instead of running from it, instead of leaning into that fear, instead choosing to face everything and figuring out how you're going to rise and how you're not just going to thrive, but as I like to call it, thrive, because we're not all just surviving right now, but we're finding ways to thrive. And that's what we do here at the Work From Home Network TV. We're all about by creatives for creatives to stay creative. And so, yeah, I just thought it all tied in interestingly. So a big shout out to you for being part of the Word Diet. And believe it or not, y'all, it's about that time for comments from people before we go. So Aaron, hit us up with some fun comments from today.
I'm going to get into some great comments.
That's some great ones.
We're going to start with the quarantine. We're going to start with our quarantine cooking. And Shannon was crushing it. So we had a lot of people out there saying, yum.
Kelly said something nice.
They're very supportive. They're being very supportive of Shannon, which I love that. We have some other great comments in here too. Curtis, we've got one here for you from Kelly. She's
Kelly.
On the show. She's very supportive because she is a big fan of you and me and not a fan of Anthony. So this is her comment for you.
Mm-hmm.
This is her comment for me. And then this
what's her comment for Anthony?
This is her comment for Anthony.
What's Mama Russo saying about everything?
Oh,
about the mustache? Mustache is on point.
She made a great comment. Mama Russo did.
Yeah,
I know where she's going. I know what Curtis is going for.
Curtis is quite funny.
Milking those comments. Also, big shout out to Mama
But she also has another one right under that too. It's a bunch of comments today.
Wait a second, because here's the deal. Kelly's issue is with my mustache, and just there's a lot of fans in the stands like Corey Harper, who's very supportive of Anthony's mustache.
There you go, Corey.
I do want to shout out to Mama Russo, though. Yes, amen. Sending amen and wishing you a happy Passover, Mama Russo. So thank you so much for tuning in as well. It is so fun, and we love getting all of your comments coming in and supporting the show as we continue to grow it.
And I'm not going to read this comment out loud, but it is hysterical to me. So I'm just going to put it up, and you can read it in your minds at home. Oh, no, that's not the one. That's not the one.
Which one?
This one.
I saw that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're all starting to know somebody.
That came in from Periscope.
I don't know who Curtis run. Oh,
I love it.
I'm just going to keep pretending like it's real.
The good thing is, though, maybe he wants to try out for our new show, which, Aaron, do we want to talk about that next?
Let's talk about it. And we've actually got some people that are starting to roll in, and the show is called
Show Us What You Got.
Show us what you got. There you go.
That's right. We're looking for those virtual hidden gems. What kind of talents you guys have out there? Can you sing? Can you dance? Can you act? Whatever you guys can do, we want to see it. We want to spread it to the masses with our new show called Show Us What You Got. And we're going to try and get that up and running for you guys next week. We've got some talent that we're filtering through. So if you know someone, or if that is you, or if that's your mom, your grandma, or someone in your family, or someone that you work with, send them our way.
You yell out the window too, you know.
That's it. Send them our way. And let's show us what you got.
I love it. I hear us playing in the background. Fun times. Little reverb.
It's just reminding. It's reminding us what's going on. And again, if anybody has not caught your show, Aaron, it's really great watching you and JJ, what you guys do and talk about positivity. And ultimately that is how we all wanted to start this was coming up with ways of showing creativity from our end and sharing light, love, and positivity, which again, during this Holy Week or religious week, it's a great time to kind of reflect upon how we're going to come out of this and not be afraid of what's on the other end and just be positive.
Yeah.
Yes. And that's a perfect way to segue into our live streaming guide. So first things first, like Anthony mentioned, we get Wingman to Greatness every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. Then, of course, we have Power Hour Live Monday, Wednesday, Friday here at noon. And right after this at 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern, we'll have Biscuits and Gravy, which will also be back on Monday. On Tuesdays, we have our Spanglish show, Let's Talk About It. And then later on today, we have Happy Hour at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. And I want to highlight what we have going on down below because today was supposed to be the start of Coachella. But as we know, that is actually not happening. So instead, Coachella 20 Years in the Deserts documentary is officially available on youtube.com for Coachella. And then over at NYX Cosmetics, they're doing their Epic Together Virtual Music Festival, which kicks off today at 6 p.m. Pacific and will be going all weekend long. Tonight, the featured artist is Jessie Reyes. Tomorrow, it's Kim Petra. And on Sunday, it's going to be Princess Nokia. And then also on Sunday, April 11th, Farm Aid teams up with Access TV to do their At Home with Farm Aid, featuring performances by Willie Nelson, John Mellencamp, Neil Young, and Dave Matthews. And that starts off at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern on Access TV and farmaid.org. And all proceeds will be going to Farm Aid. And as we can see, Curtis has already started munching.
Oh, yeah, I'm getting ready. I got popcorn.
Yes, ready to give back and enjoy.
For happy hour, can we do Couchella tonight?
I know Coachella has started as well for a couple of them, but they're going on at the same time as Happy Hour, which is why it wasn't on the live stream, guys. You have to watch us instead.
Exactly.
Yes.
Anthony, we had one more comment come in here from Mama Russo wanting to do her shaman chanting.
You know,
I'm all about it, but I actually found a clip online of her doing her shaman chanting. I can pull it up on this, but I'll try and play it. Hopefully you guys can hear it.
It's a good tune. I love that tune.
I love it. But wait, Mama Russo, I'm down to have you because we're going to have someone else talk about different ways to protect yourself. Curtis, those are very loud. So would love to have you on the show.
I'll tell her. She's somewhere in the room. I'm literally operating from my mom's house right now. And Curtis, I love that sound. So I'm one of those weird ones where I like hearing that crinkle. I don't know.
The ASMR?
ASMR,
but now we have other segments going on. Not good. Maybe we'll give you your own dedicated 5 minutes of ASMR for people that are.
All right. Great show.
All right, well, that is good. I definitely think that's a great time for us to wrap. A big shout out and thank you to our guest, Shannon, and to Mo for her cocktail. I cannot wait to try it.
That
Super
serum is lit.
And yes, there you go. So thank you all so much for tuning in. We will see you back on Monday. But of course, before that, tonight for happy hour, including the Bopple crew that Aaron has. So Aaron, Anthony, Curtis, it's time to say goodbye. Ooh.
Bye.
Crystals.
Yes.
See you later, everybody.
Tell me the truth. I know we've gone our separate ways. Can we get love back? I know we've had our better days. Can we get love back? Okay.